ladies and gentlemen, Harley Quinn is back, and it's your boy Icon with a DC animated TV review, going over some Harley Quinn, a Valentine special, and for some reason this is still classified as being part of season 3. It is considered episode 11 for season 3. Anyway, so now makes you wonder if we're going to get more episodes for season 3. So anyway, so this is a Valentine's episode, so let's not take it too seriously. Well, the show itself, you don't take the show too seriously, but specifically because it's Valentine's Day. And it's like, it's weird because it starts with Superman and Lois, and they're talking about their relationship. There was a thing throughout the entire episode where different couples were being interviewed. We got the Hawks, and I was like, well, shit, where's that show? We got like obscure characters like Killer Croc, and I forgot who he was dating. For some reason, Zatanna was with the Flash, and it was just a whole big mess. But I'm not even gonna talk about what Clayface did. Like, that was just weird. But it basically starts with Harley, and she's with Ivy, and Ivy's trying to keep a low profile, like a low key Valentine's Day, and Harley wants to do something extravagant and stupendous or whatever. They did Wonder Woman dirty. Like, they had Wonder Woman home in her bathtub crying over Steve Trevor, and I was like, why y'all do her like that? Right? So Harley tries to come up like Ivy basically said she wanted to have a low key day. Harley tried to go above and beyond. She staged like she took her to her favorite soul food restaurant, the Macaroon or whatever, and then while they're at the restaurant, they came up with a recipe for like the greatest vegan food of all time. Like, this group of people, they come in, they steal the recipe, and then after they steal the recipe, Ivy chases them down because she's like, you're not going to get your hands on the recipe, you sons of bitches. And then she chases them down, she kills everybody, and then she finds out that Harley had staged the whole thing, and she was basically just trying to make, the Valentine's Day very interesting. Ivy said that she did enjoy it. It was one of the better Valentine's Days that she had, but she never actually said it was the greatest Valentine's Day of all time, which made Harley feel very weird. So then Harley was just like running around trying to figure out, how she can make it like the greatest of all time, because she wasn't happy with the fact that Ivy was just like, oh, this was the best. And then she was just like, it wasn't the greatest. And then she was like, no, it was the best. So Harley's like, she's losing her shit. She actually goes into Wonder Woman's house. She steals her lasso of truth. And then she makes Ivy tell her that the Valentine's Day that she gave her was actually like the third best Valentine's Day, top 3 of all time. So now Harley's upset because she was like, it was supposed to be the greatest. Then Ivy's like, don't worry about it. And then she gets mad. And then Harley goes down to see Etrigan, who was the MVP of the episode for me with his rhymes. She goes to Etrigan, and Etrigan the demon gives her a spell that allows her to give the next person that she makes love to the greatest orgasm of all time. So Harley's whole thing was, if I'm not going to have the greatest Valentine's Day of all time, I can at least give you the greatest orgasm of all time. So the two of them get it on. They're having relations, and then they have sex, and then, Ivy, she has an orgasm. Her orgasm was so powerful that her pheromones, her pheromones basically like spread out into the sky, and it infused every single person in Gotham City with her love hormone pheromones, and now the entire city is basically having one gigantic orgy. Bane, who was alone for Valentine's Day, he ended up meeting a girl, and then the girl that he met, she wanted him to come over to her house. Bane was afraid because apparently Bane has a small penis, so he went to Etrigan again to get a potion that makes his penis bigger. But when you mix they said don't take it if you're on HGH, and he's using the venom, so the venom mixed in with the magic potion made Bane like 90 feet tall with an extremely large penis, and he went around basically banging every building in sight. So while this is going on and the city's having their orgasm, Ivy and like Harley, like, they go outside, they see what's going on, and then Ivy got upset, and then she was just like, Harley, what did you do? And then she was just like, oh, I got the spell to give you the best orgasm. Then she was like, look what you've done. And then Harley was like, I'm not going to be shamed for giving you the best orgasm of your whole life and giving every single person in Gotham City the ability to have strong orgasms as well, due to them having consensual, hot, cold, butt naked sex. And Ivy was like, well, shit, I actually can't argue against that. And so but then when they saw the whole Bane thing, and they saw that Bane was like running around banging buildings, they tried to stop Bane. In the midst of them stopping Bane, they realized that they couldn't, and the only way that they could stop Bane was to basically like bring his libido down, so they had to come up with a way to turn him off. And he had said it earlier on his dating profile that one of the things that he hates, which is why he can never swipe right on anybody, he's a grammar nerd, and he hates poor grammar. So whenever people use poor grammar on their dating profile, like, it pisses him off and he never swipes right on them. So they ended up using Clayface to turn into this guy. I don't know the guy's name. Some guy that everybody liked that wrote a book like the girls all wanted. He was supposed to be reading like some love book or whatever live at concert. Bane saw him and Bane was just like, oh, I have to do him because of my hormones and whatever. So Bane was going to do this guy. They convinced Clayface to turn themselves into that guy, bro, to make him like 90 feet tall as well. And then when the two of them were like face to face, they told Clayface at that moment to start, reading off some of his turnoffs and try to like get him to not be interested in you. Clayface did the complete opposite, but then because Clayface was talking, one of the things that Bane said was, he said that he hates when people say anyways with an S to end a sentence and move on to the next one. He said you're supposed to say anyway, not anyways. And then Clayface accidentally said anyways. Bane got upset, and because the grammar thing pissed him off, he shrunk 3 sizes that day, and then they were able to get him to stop. And I guess the spell wore off, but he was still 90 feet tall. The girl that he was supposed to bang earlier, she ended up finding him, and then the two of them went to go do whatever. And I don't know why he's still tall, but I guess it has something to do with the venom and the magic mixed together. But he's happily ever after, he gonna go do his damn thing. So then after that, Ivy and Harley, they had an argument, which turned into a conversation. And then she was just like, stop trying to do the greatest stuff of all time. And then she was like, why don't you just ask me what my favorite Valentine's Day was? And then she was like, well, I don't want to know your old exploits. And then she said, actually, my favorite Valentine's Day, it was the day that I was trapped in Arkham. And this was back when you were Harleen Quinzel. You came into my cell room and you actually spoke to me. You and I had a nice conversation. You showed me love and compassion. You treated me like a human being. And this was on Valentine's Day. So she said, actually, if you think about it, my favorite Valentine's Day of all time actually still involved you, although you weren't the you that you are now. So then they fell in love and, back in love, whatever. They did the deed. They had a killer sex scene, whatever, where they covered everything on a rated R show. And then after that, it was all good. And then they were the couple that was in the couples counseling, and they didn't know how to end the show. And then they were just like, told everybody happy Valentine's Day, and that was it. So that was pretty cool. And thank you for tuning in. So, I mean, it wasn't much to say about this one because it was supposed to be like a silly Valentine special, which it was. It's very enjoyable. It was very funny. And like I said, Etrigan for me was the MVP because the shit he was coming up with is just like, it's like so much more better because he rhymes. But let me know what you think about this. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. If you have any plans for Valentine's Day, what are your plans? Like, what are you going to do? And we will continue to roll on. I don't know if Harley's coming. Is this the actual season finale now for Harley Quinn? Who knows? But we'll see what happens as we continue to roll on. Check out the Tacos and Geek podcast, the 1 hour podcast with myself, Sean, Justin, and Gotham Geek Girl Nadia, where we talk about Marvel Phase 4 and our thoughts on it ending and going into Phase 5. Check out my other videos because The Flash is on the channel, baby. The Flash! Yes, The Flash is back, going into its 9th and final season. And for the love of God, we're still waiting for Titans and Young Justice to return. So until next time, everybody, for some more Harley Quinn action. Hopefully this means the season will come back pretty